All right, boys and girls, today we're going to be reading the book If You Give a Moose a Muffin by Laura Joffe Numeroff and illustrated by Felicia Bond. And while we're reading this book, I'm going to make a few predictions about what I think is going to happen in the book. And what's important about when we make predictions is that we're making the predictions realistic. We're making them based off of what is happening in the book. So I don't want to say something that probably isn't going to happen. I'm going to want to say and make a prediction that is going to be accurate to the book, not something crazy. That's really important when making predictions. All right, so right off the bat, a couple days ago, we read the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So I'm recognizing that this is a similar name and it has the same author and illustrator as If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So I'm going to make the prediction automatically that the moose is going to ask for a bunch of things. So here on my anchor chart, that's going to be my first prediction. So because we read If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, I'm going to predict that the moose will ask for a bunch of things within the book. So let's see if that's true. If You Give a Moose a Muffin by Laura Joffe Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you give a moose a muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. All right, off the bat, I'm already seeing that my prediction looks to be correct. He's asking for a bunch of stuff. When he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another, and another, and another. When they're all gone, he'll ask you to make more. Now, I'm gonna think about my own house. I don't really keep muffin mix in my house regularly. And if I had just made a bunch of muffin mix, then I'm probably out of muffin mix. So he ate all of those muffins. So I'm gonna predict that because he wants more, they might have to go get more muffin mix to make more muffins. So that's my second prediction. Because they're out of muffins, they'll need to go get more muffin mix. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. Seems like I was right. He'll want to go with you. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. Chilly just means cold. When he puts the sweater on, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose. He'll ask for a needle and thread. He'll start sewing. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. Now, boys and girls, when I think about something that a loved one used to do or a friend of mine used to do, I generally want to do that thing. So I'm going to make the prediction that because the moose is reminded about the puppets his grandmother used to make, he's going to want to make puppets of his own. So that's my next prediction on our anchor chart. The reminder of his grandma and her puppets means he's going to want to make puppets like his grandma. Let's see if that's true. So he'll ask for some old socks and he'll make sock puppets. When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show and he'll need some cardboard and paint. So boys and girls, one time when I was watching a puppet show, I noticed that it wasn't just the puppets in the puppet show, that there was this beautiful background that was made. So I think that's what the cardboard and paint is for. He's gonna wanna make a background or the scenery for his puppet show. So that's my next prediction. The cardboard and paint is going to be for the background of the puppet show. Then he'll ask you to make the scenery. And like I just said, the scenery is the same word for that background, so my prediction was correct. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch, but his antlers will stick out. So he'll ask for something to cover them up. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much, he'll knock over the paints. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. Then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. And he'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. He'll go outside to put it on the clothesline. And when he's out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to think back to the far beginning of the book where they had blackberry jam. I'm going to think that because he's seeing these blackberry bushes, he's going to be reminded of the blackberry jam again. So that's my next prediction. Mom's blackberry bushes in the backyard is going to remind him of Mom's homemade blackberry jam. Let's see. Seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam, and he'll probably ask you for some. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to make one more prediction. Because when he was eating the blackberry jam last time, he ate it with muffins. So I'm thinking that because he's reminded of the blackberry jam and he's going to ask you for the blackberry jam, he might ask you for some muffins to go with it. So that's my last prediction. Mom's blackberry jam is going to remind him that he wants muffins again. Let's see. And chances are, if you give him the jam, he'll want a muffin to go with it. All right, boys and girls. So that was If You Give a Moose a Muffin by Laura Joffe Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. We made a bunch of predictions when we read this book. We predicted that the book is going to be similar to If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and we predicted at the end that because he was reminded of Mom's blackberry jam, he was going to go all the way back and think of the muffins again. Now, the important part of when we made those predictions is that they were accurate to the book. They weren't crazy predictions that could probably not happen. They were predictions that probably would happen. So that's the important part of when you're making predictions. So next time we read a book, make predictions that are accurate to the book and will probably happen.